one.
Maisha ni ya ghetto, msaliti ni petro, sharia muna kwao, wazimu pia na hao, furaha sio mfano, ukabila ni kwao. Fakiri na shika, furaha kwa lakini, soko mashabiki, maji kuziki, beat na fiki, beat na dhiki, muda wiki, mimi na himziki, split ni muki, kutafuta ziki, kwa makini mfulisi, salojima la sili, feel me.
Don't you know, we're talking about a revolution song.
Yes. I want that. Oh, I need that. Gots to have that. I love my
Hey, my brother, you know I had to call you and thank you personally again. I cannot describe to you how happy I was to meet you in person, finally. That was just like amazing. And I just want to tell you thank you again. I cannot thank you enough. And I love your girlfriend's personality. She's just so straightforward, so upfront. No BS. I love it, and I hope y'all get married. Y'all get married. Invite me to the wedding. Anyway.
Free your mind.
Oh man. Well, I'm back to bring some observation, bring some inquiry. A lot of y'all don't like questions. A lot of you don't like observation. You don't want your ideology, you don't want your belief, you don't want it questioned. Now, I don't mind being questioned. To me, if you get upset about questions, if you don't like certain observation, it makes me wonder about you, because most people who get nervous, who get emotional over questions usually are usually are criminals. Somebody who's trying to hide something. A man that is cheating on his wife and she asking questions makes him nervous, because he's wondering, does she know I'm cheating? So you get nervous, you get emotional. When you don't know what you're talking about and somebody asking you questions because you faking the funk, you trying to be smarter than what you really are, and you don't like questions. It gets you upset. I was told there's no such thing as a stupid question. Oh, see, you're not asking questions. You're just a troublemaker. You just want to try to get people upset. I'm getting you upset. How? Because I asked a question. Why are you getting upset? I'm not the problem. You are the problem. Why are you getting upset? Because somebody's asking you a question. I'm not asking you a question. I'm not presenting to you an observation. I'm not calling you out of your name. I'm saying, sir. I'm saying, ma'am. And then when you give me an answer, and I politely tell you, well, that don't make quite sense because of such, because of this. It's not registered. Well, you need to do your research. You need to learn how to answer somebody's question. What's wrong with saying, I believe this, but I don't know? You don't want to do that because then you feel what? Terry, they feel what? You feel stupid. And that's why you really don't like messing with me, because I make you feel stupid. But if you really know what you're talking about, if you're really up on your game, I would not make you feel stupid. I've asked many people questions. A lot of times they might say, I don't know. So since they say I don't know, what else? I mean, there's no, hey. But when you claim that you know and you giving me these answers, they're not satisfactory. It might be satisfactory for you. It's not satisfactory to me. And I'm bringing you valid inquiry. I'm telling you the reason why. And the reason why is valid. It's credible. You got the problem because you think that you have some kind of truth, that you really know something, and you really don't. And I'm proving to you that you don't, but you become loyal. Why don't you just say, I believe this, and I'm going to believe it. I don't give a damn about nothing else. And so that's the end of it. That's the end of the conversation. But see, you want to present things to people like it's real, like you know what the hell you're talking about. And that's where the problem lies. Just say, I don't know. This is something I believe. Don't try to pass it off like this is a fact. Well, if it's a fact, if it's real, it can pass the criteria of logic, common sense, reason, and being analyzed and examined. It can handle being combed with a fine tooth comb. But it can't. That's what makes you upset. So, I present to us the question, to all y'all, I love Africa, Pan-African, African, RBG, African, I want to be an African, half African, whatever the stuff that y'all call yourself. The question I present is, I know that we are taught in America, in the good old United States, we are taught in school that our ancestors were kidnapped from this continent called Africa, brought here and made slaves. We watch movies about it, talk about it all the time. That's what we're taught. And some of us don't believe that, but that's what we're taught here in America as dark-skinned people, the descendants of slaves, born in America, having African or native aboriginal ancestry. But you're neither. I make people angry with that too. But you're neither. And you can't prove you're one or the other. You're neither. You fit into none category. Yes, you have ancestry that could be people from the African continent, which you don't even know who they are. Could be people that's native, that was already here, dark-skinned people. And really, most of you still don't know who they are. Some of you, you have an idea. I hear y'all talking. I hear you talking. Aboriginals, I hear you talking. But you're still neither. So I want to know, because I see all these people foaming at the mouth for Africa. Africa this, Africa, just obsessed with Africa. I want to see if those people on the continent, are obsessed with us. So I asked the brother this question, and he got really emotional over the question. I don't know why, but like I said before, what's up with this emotion? Because somebody asking a question, observation. If you really don't know. But see, the problem is we think that we know. So he answers, and I respond with another question or observation that you don't like, because you're thinking that you're giving the answer and you don't have the answer. So do the people on the African continent teach their children that about 500 years ago, some of their citizens was captured and brought here to America, and now they are known as African Americans? Now this person told me all these different countries that do that. Now, quite honestly, I have not done a lot of research on it or whatever, but I did do a quick Google search. I see no information. And the only thing this person could tell me, their mother went to one of those Ghana and saw the staging areas that they had for the stage before they got on the boat. That don't prove nothing. That's a tourist attraction. That's a way that you can make money, so you can make dollars. The question is, do they teach their children that about 500 years ago, some of the citizens, maybe even your relatives, was put on a boat, sent to America, and now they are called African Americans? I have yet to see a history book from those African people that they teach maybe that's the reason why they don't view the black man and woman in America as brothers and sisters, because they're not really taught about us. They're not educated on us. They're not taught that history. The only thing I found on the internet that even come close, there was an article written by somebody, forgot what their name was, and they asked their African friends from various nations, do you relate to black history? They said no. Now here we are in America, foaming at the mouth, trying to learn all types of African history. We become self-made scholars, foaming at the mouth, running around here trying to learn African history. And those people are not trying to learn your history in this country, because why? Because they can't relate. They say they do. This is what those African persons told this particular man or woman. I forgot who the author of this article was, a male or female. I don't remember. But they told them the reason why they don't relate to black history in America is because they're not there. They don't see themselves in this history. They're not there. Woo! So the reason why they cannot relate to black history in America is because they don't see themselves in the history of which they are not there. But here you are, foaming at the mouth, and you are not in their history at all. You never was in Egypt. You never was in Ghana or Somalia or nowhere in West Africa. The only place you ever known was right here in the good old United States of America. That's the only place you ever know. But here you got people that you foaming at the mouth over. They telling you, I can't relate to the history because I don't see myself. How are you going to relate to a history or a people and you're not there? These people said that's why they're not teaching that they have any connection to you, because there is no connection. They're not part of our history. You're not part of their history. Y'all don't get it. It's just like this. Your mother is your mother. And the only time you become part of her history is when you're born. You're not part of your mother's history until you're born. Anything prior to you being born, you cannot relate to your mother. That's your mother. Y'all related, but you're not part of her history until you come into existence. There was no so-called Negro. There was no colored people in Egypt. In the history of Ghana or Somalia or Nigeria, those different places. West Africa. There is no so-called Negro in the history of the native people here. You did not exist. Chattel slavery created the so-called Negro. This people called black. Matter of fact, there's confusion. Is black a people or is black a race? Because if black is a race, if Africans are black, if black people are all over the world, and what do that make us? If black is a race, then what are we? What is our name? If black is a race, because those are black people technically too. But we're just called black people. But if black is a race, what is our name? What are we? I'll tell you what our name is. Our name is colored. Our name is Negro and the ever popular nigger. And chattel slavery created us. We are an unnatural people. We are a new breed, a new species that came up out of these other people. And you say it all the time. You just skip and ignore that part because you want to be like them and they don't want to be like you. You're not in their history books. Then those people on the continent not running around talking about black conscience, comedic science, black power. They're nothing. They're not talking about African spirituality. You're the only one that's doing that. They cannot relate to you. Look, let's take Elijah Muhammad's suggestion, accept your own and be yourself, but you're not a righteous Muslim. We are what we are. Determine, accept who we are, understand who we are, and we can be the people that we are. We look stupid trying to be something we never was. We never was these people. And they cannot relate. They telling the truth. And you live in fantasy, la la land. That don't mean we can't be brothers and sisters. That don't mean we're not related. That don't mean that we can't be family. But it's not like that though.
Free your mind.
Look, I would hope none of you would ever get involved with the criminal justice system of this country. I hope you don't. I really wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Well, maybe I would, but that's something people always say. It's a terrible thing to get caught up in this legal system, okay?
Speed warning.
Now, if you ever do, please take my advice. I had to learn the hard way because I didn't know. I never was in trouble with the law before. I want you to take my advice. I wish somebody was around to tell me, but I had to learn the hard way. The best thing you can do when you are accused of a crime and you messing with the pigs, That's what they are. When you're messing with the pigs, the best thing that you can do is keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. Shut up. There's a show, I think it's called Another 48 Hours, something. The next 48 hours or something like that. It's on A&E. It's a cable show. And
speed warning.
it's a lot of black folks, a lot of soul brothers and sisters be on that show, being charged with crimes involved in things, and the police involved. I don't know what it is about us,
Speed
but
warning.
brothers and sisters, we need to learn how to keep our mouth shut. Many of them are in jail right now because we don't know how to keep our mouth shut. We just don't. You remember when we was little children and you get into it with somebody and we calling each other names and people try to break it up and split the two people that's having a conflict apart, and you just can't go and be quiet. You gotta say something to the other person. Your mama, your daddy, your mama fat. You got to say something. You can't keep your mouth shut. You just gotta say something, because we can't take out. We get in an argument with people and we have to get the last word. We can't, that's just how we do. We cannot keep our mouth shut. And that's one of the reasons why, like I say, many of us are in jail. That's why many of us land at the mortuary on that slab with a toe tag, because we don't know how to keep our mouth shut. We don't know how to be quiet. We just got to run our mouth. And this is what I hear some of us say all the time. It's my mouth. I can talk if I want to. I got the right to talk. There's a lot of things you might have a right to. But when others are in control, when somebody has advantage over you and you can't do nothing about it, the wise thing to do is keep your mouth shut. And we won't do it. We won't do it. We just got to run our mouths. We just got to say something. We got to tell people our business. We can't keep nothing secret. We got to talk. We got to run our mouth. So you have, I'm going to use Louis Farrakhan and Umar Johnson as an example. But I want to talk, I'm really talking about all of these, because they all are guilty.
Speed warning.
This black conscious, comedic, first black, unapologetically black, African supremacy, black supremacy, Hebrew Israelite, comedic, whatever you want to call yourself, Moors, all this teachings, all this stuff, all these folks just can't keep their mouth shut. Probably one of the reasons why it's easy to send an agent in and they'll get the information that they're looking for, because we can't keep our mouth shut. We got to tell somebody. When I was locked up, there's no way that I should know everything that's happening upstairs in the accounting department. Now, the accounting department has nothing to do with me directly. Nothing. I know all the business, the people that work there, all their personal business. I know everything about what's going on
Slide eye done. US 33.
in the accounting department. How is that possible? Because people run their mouth. They got to talk. They got to gossip. They got to. Can't be quiet. Can't shut up. So we have somebody like
Speed warning.
Minister Louis Farrakhan. And at this time, as far as I know, they are really silent and have no real response, except unless it's old, before the Young Pharaoh's documentary
Speed warning.
exposing the Nation of Islam came out. They have gone silent. That's good. Leave it alone. The wisest thing you can do is keep your mouth shut. Running your mouth just gonna make things worse.
Speed
This is
warning.
not 1965. It's a whole new ball game. Shut up. Leave it alone. Farrakhan should never have said anything about the Facebook ban. Shut up. We don't know how to shut up. But see, some of us, we like attention. We like people to hear us talk. We like to hear ourselves talk. Especially when we think we smart. I'm teaching. You're teaching what? We're great teachers. We're scholars. Everybody needs to know
Half mile. Slide right on
what I got.
US 33.
Okay, if you want to teach, do your teaching. You want to be a scholar, do your scholarship. But see, when you start talking about Malcolm X, when you start talking about Khalid Muhammad, when you start talking about these individuals, if you teaching, exactly what are you teaching?
In
Oh,
900 feet,
you're teaching
slide
that
right
Malcolm
on
X
US 33.
is a hypocrite and a traitor and all this, and you teaching that Khalid Muhammad, victim of child abuse, and that's why you said that he acted the way that he did because of child abuse. He needed to prove something, that he was a man, that, you know, he had to stand up for himself. Now you crossing the line.
Continue on this road for 47 miles.
If Farrakhan had never brought up Malcolm X and had an opinion about Malcolm X, none of this would be going on right now. None of this stuff. But see, he's arrogant. Gotta talk, gotta run your mouth. You want to be, see, you have a mental issue too. You want to be better than Malcolm. How many times have you heard Farrakhan say, Malcolm X died so he could live? I'm better than Malcolm. So I gotta prove it. Malcolm is a traitor, a hypocrite. So you want to destroy his legacy. Now, of course, there are certain persons who are going to inquire about your role and what you was doing as far as Malcolm X is concerned. We understand that. But the only thing Louis Farrakhan had to do was say, Malcolm was my brother and I loved him. Elijah Muhammad was my teacher and I loved him, and I have no further comment except that was a tragic part of our history that I do not want to relive. I have no more comment. But no, that's not what he done. So what if we did kill him? He's a hypocrite. So what if we did kill him? Did you make Malcolm? Did you raise Malcolm? Did Malcolm betray you, or did he betray us? That's the narrative. And so now all of this and other things. Now here's a man that talked bad about Malcolm X. He's on video with no shame kissing a white man in the mouth. Are you serious? You got the nerve to talk about Malcolm X and you kissing white men in the public, old as you are, and calling the guy your brother. This white man is your brother. Elijah Muhammad taught that the white man is the devil. No white man can be your brother. No white man can be your brother until he studied Islam for 20 to 25 years. That's the teaching. But here you got a guy that is not a Muslim. He's not studied Islam. damn sure not for 20, 25 years, and you kissing him in the mouth, and you have the nerve to talk about Malcolm X, you think you're not gonna, and you think because, see, that's another thing. These guys think because they talk real pretty, they're very articulate, they sound smart, they believe that they can say anything they want and get away with those things. They don't have to answer to nobody. They don't have to be held accountable. Now for those who follow you and believe in you, yeah, you'll get away with it. No big deal. But there are a lot of folks, this is not ancient times. People are more smarter. They are more intelligent. They are more self-thinking. It's not going to happen. The same thing has happened to Umar Johnson. He thinks that he's so smart, and the more you run your mouth, the worse it gets. You can't just be quiet and shut up. The only thing Umar Johnson had to do was just, hey, when they start asking him questions about whatever, just show the receipts. Show the documentation about your education. Show the documentation about the money you raise. It's easy, but no. Not only do he become arrogant because he can't shut up his damn mouth, then he goes on threatening women and men and all these. So the only thing you're doing when you're running your mouth is digging a grave for yourself. Yes, Malcolm X is gone. But believe me, this mental pressure, this is what is going on in 2019. All these voices against Umar Johnson, these voices against Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam, Umar Johnson, Polite. Pretty soon, the voice is going to be against all this pro-black garbage, because it's all garbage. They all are a bunch of leeches. They love to run their mouth. They can't shut up. They know it all. I've never heard a question where they say, I just don't know. They don't know. Because they know it all. And so basically what I'm saying in these few words, we have to learn how to shut our damn mouth. Learn how to say, I don't know. Learn how to be quiet. You don't have to fight all battles. You have to fight all the battles. You don't have to fight everything that come to you. You can just be quiet, let it go. But they can't, because they know it all. They want to show you how smart and intelligent they are. And the more they talk, the more they reveal of themselves and how more dumb they look. A bunch of rats. And that's what they have proven to us. All this pro-black garbage, nothing but a sewer of rats that need to be exterminated. I don't wish bad on nobody, but you asked for it because you're arrogant. And so now, all these suckers being exposed for the demons they really are, being brought to size. Your teachings ain't about nothing. Your fantasy and your fiction, your false ass brotherhood and sisterhood. You're not nobody's brother. You're nobody's sister. You're nothing but a damn racist wannabe, a slave owner wannabe. That's all you are. You don't give a damn about freedom, justice, and equality. You're looking out for yourself. You have some type of personal agenda that you want to get off. And you want to use these who have been oppressed going on 500 years You want to use us the same way others use us. Now, what you need is a good ass whooping, and you're going to get it. Keep running your mouth. Keep wanting the last word, showing that you're so damn smart. Go ahead. It's all good. Keep doing what you do. Hey, keep doing what you do. Louis Farrakhan, before he passed this life, he's going to know, and he's going to suffer and know that his legacy, he's done. Umar Johnson is done. All these folks you're going to see, they're all done. They're all done. And they need to be done. Your teachings is a lie. Your scholarship is a damn lie. Fiction and fantasy and bull doo-doo. Nobody impressed by you no more. Your big ass mouth and your teachings, your scholarship, your research, your information. Nobody impressed by none of that stuff. Because the number one thing is, it has produced and is producing nothing. Go take that elsewhere. Take it to Africa some damn where. That's what you claim that you would want to go. Take it to Africa, and they'll kick your ass out of there so fast, make your head swim. I don't see no Africans running around here talking about RBG, black conscience, and all this other dumbass stuff these folks be talking. Because they want to run their mouth. Keep running your mouth.
Free your mind.
I don't find joy in speaking the words that will be said within this next 15 minutes. I do not find joy always, as some may say, speaking negative of my own gender. I find no joy in the negative. When I was a young boy, I was told I would not stay a boy, that one day I would be a man. I was looking for that example of what I want to be when I grow up. I saw in the males that was around me, I could not feel them as being what I wanted to be. The only men that I was attracted to as a young boy was those that I did not know, such as Dr. King and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But I yearned as a boy, even though I was surrounded by men, they had a penis and they are called men. I just did not feel that vibe. In 2019, I'm surrounded by men. I talk to men. I see men on Facebook. I see men on YouTube. I see all the videos. I see the men on the corner at Walmart or at the police station, wherever. I don't feel the vibe that a young boy is supposed to be getting from his father, from the male gender. I don't feel it. Of course, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm some type of perfect example myself. I'm not going to tell you that I'm this grand figure of something, but I know that what I see and what I'm surrounded by, I know it's not manhood. It's impossible. If I'm surrounded by manhood, a group of men who don't find no problems and make excuses, living with their enemy, living with other men, a race of men that raped your grandmother and your aunts and castrated your fathers and firebombed your homes and killed your children. You live with them comfortable, you don't have a problem. There should be outrage. This condition that we find ourselves in should have been changed a long time ago. These men who are lazy and trifling and don't want to do nothing, you hear and you know what you need to do, but you won't do it. And you watch videos all day. It is an embarrassment. And then you brag about your children. You brag about your babies. I'm passing on my bloodline. Most of you are passing the oppressor's name down. Your name is not Johnson, Jackson, and whatever. These are the names of your owners. And you're happy to do that. Grayson and Melrose, whatever your name is, you know these names don't belong to you. And you have these men don't have no problem with that. They have no problem with their women, females being treated all kinds of which way. In fact, these men actually went out to the store and bought records and tapes where you had other so-called men call our women whores and bitches and thoughts and all this kind of stuff. You have men threatening women here on YouTube. And it's all tolerated by so-called men. I watch these men on Facebook. I watch these men on social media. I watch them as they walking down the street, and I meet them in daily life, and I talk to them, and I just don't get a vibe. You're called men, but you don't act like men. You say that you're free, and you don't act like a free man. You don't act like a man, and you don't act like you're free. Many of these so-called men blame women for their problems. We have to hold women accountable. You don't hold yourself accountable for nothing. And you don't hold accountable the nation, the people that oppress you in this country. That is the root and the cause of many of our behaviors, whether you believe that or not. These behaviors generated by intermixing with an unnatural people with nasty, profane behaviors. And we adopt those things. And we're materialistic. We think success is just Jay-Z is a billionaire. Jay-Z don't impress me at all. Nice that you have $1 billion, but you're a Negro slave. And he knows it. He's a rich billionaire slave. Because it's very true. A man can rise no higher than his people. So if his people are niggas, if they are made mockery of and belittled, you think because you have $1 billion, you may not get the direct hit, but you still a nigger. You still a color, you still a Negro. You still a monkey as far as they're concerned. Anybody else is concerned. But you feel better. Money makes Jay-Z feel better as a man. and he watch his wife go on stage half naked, bending over, showing all her private part to the whole world, and you're a man and that you can't get your woman to put on some clothes to respect you as a man, your family and your people, your woman running around throwing her vagina in everybody's face. We complain and don't never do nothing. Just examine. Go on Facebook and look at yourself. And they don't find nothing wrong with this. Cowards, lazy and trifling, stupid, scary. Want to be intellectual. You want to try to show off in front of another slave. Come on video making, you want to show your wisdom and how smart you are to another slave. Nobody is impressed by your supreme wisdom. Nobody is impressed by what you think that you know. The Arabs said, are you going to pay for that Snicker bar? That's the only thing they want to know. Yo, all that other stuff that you talk about don't mean nothing to them. Are you going to pay for this gasoline at this Arab store, this Korean store, and all these other people in your neighborhood, even the Africans? Anybody can come into your neighborhood and do anything they want to you. And they know it because they know there's no man at home. The solution is two-parent household. Well, if the solution is two-parent household, that means one of the parents has to be a man, not just somebody with a penis. Because if that person in that two-parent household really was a man, he understands that not only does he have to take care of his personal family, he must be able to take the necessary steps to protect his neighborhood, his community, and his nation. But he don't have a nation. He don't really have a neighborhood. He don't have a community. He don't have nothing because you're still a slave. It's embarrassing. And you don't want to be that way. And you don't want to be other than a slave. It's all that you know. I'm telling you, I can't really describe how I feel except it's truly embarrassing. I don't care how tough you sound. These people don't care nothing about you sounding tough. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Nothing. And they know that you're not gonna do nothing. Now, you will hunt me down. You will hunt another dark-skinned man down and blow his brains out. But other men, you freeze up. Other men, you're scared. Other men, your voice starts dropping. How you gonna get respect as a man with that kind of behavior? You're talking strong when you talk to me, but when other men come around, your voice starts getting all timid. And then you wonder why the women are looking at us as men. And you wonder why they act the way they do. Because a woman is supposed to be drawn to manhood. She don't have a man. And you want the credit and you want to be treated like some man and you're not. With your EBT card, your SNAP card, other welfare that you can get. Drunk, weed smokers, dope fiends, pedophiles, murderers of your own, killers of your own, scamming your own people, stealing from your own people, support black business, and you're stealing and you're exploiting the people just like the Arab or anybody else. I feel sorry for the sisters, why do you keep laying down and you know you don't have a man, having babies by these people? They got a penis, but they're not men. Because a man will not have you living in the house of his enemy, of those who oppress him. Either you're going to kick that guy in the ass, or he's going to give you your real respect and be treated like an equal, or you're going to get the hell out of Dodge. And these guys aren't doing none of it. But they so smart. They so intelligent. You ought to see them. Bunch of clowns. So I'm not impressed. Unfortunately, I'm in the same group. I have no choice. So if they are pitiful and pathetic, that makes me pitiful and pathetic too. That's just how it goes. But I'm willing to try to do better. Even if it means my life. You're not going to chop me out. You're going to treat me like a man. I don't have to tell you. I don't have to write a sign saying I am a man. You're going to learn by my actions. You messing with the wrong one, baby. When sisters are around men who stand up and be what they claim they are, watch her tone of voice, her actions. But I don't blame her for rejecting and fighting against a bunch of men who really, you're not even a boy. Because many boys will stand strong and fight. I don't know what the hell to call you. I'm just
Free your mind.
Well, now, I was watching a news program about a sister that I have no knowledge of at all, but she has she's past this life now. That's what the story was about. In New Orleans, there's a sister. Leah. What was her last name? I forgot what the sister's name. Her name was Leah. I forgot what her last name was. I am so sorry. I feel so stupid. I just had her name on the tip of my tongue. I just watched the news. I just watched the news program. I'm going senile. But her name she's a chef in New Orleans, and she developed a reputation in New Orleans, I believe, like soul food. She had a restaurant for years and years and years. And she's sort of like a celebrity and famous in the city of New Orleans. And I was listening to her words about her struggle. I was listening to my elder about her experience in this life. And she was talking about the reason of why she saw that it was important that she opened up a restaurant for colored people. You know, we was called colored at one time in Negro, colored people, Negro. It was very important for her to open up a restaurant because, as you know, our people, we were not allowed, or we were humiliated going to some of these Caucasian establishments. And she decided to open up her own restaurant. And what made me cling to her words was I needed a restaurant. I wanted this place so our people could have a safe haven. Matter of fact, her words was like a safe haven, some type of sanctuary for us to go. Why do you need a safe haven? Why do you need a sanctuary? You need that because you are surrounded by danger. You are surrounded by that which could cause you harm. When a fox is chasing a rabbit, and that rabbit is able to go down a hole, that hole becomes the rabbit's safe haven. That hole becomes that rabbit's sanctuary to get away from the fox. The danger is still there because, as you know, that fox is going to hang around and try to find a way to get in, to get to the rabbit. But for the time being, if not just for a few minutes, that rabbit has an opportunity to get itself together, regain its strength, and just in case that fox is able to get into the hole, now the rabbit has been able to get its energy back, able to keep running to get away from the fox. But one of the key words, the words here that I clung on to was the word, she said, like a safe place, a safe haven, a sanctuary. What was the Underground Railroad led by our sister Harriet Tubman? What was she doing? She was helping the people to escape, to find a sanctuary, a safe haven for the people. Why did our people run from the south to the north, to the east, to the west? Because they were trying to find a place to feel safe, a sanctuary. Even in the old Wild Wild West, and if you was an outlaw and you had the law chasing you, many of them at this time, they had respect for the church. They had respect for religion. If you was an outlaw in the Wild Wild West, you could run to a church, and the church would give you, excuse me, the church would give you sanctuary. It would be your safe haven against the law because you was a lawbreaker. And according, I don't know how real it was, but I know a lot of the Western TV shows and movies that I used to see, the sheriff and the posse, they would not desecrate that holy place, that church, and they would just sit and wait and watch for that criminal to try to leave. That church became a safe haven, a sanctuary for that outlaw, for a criminal. And then when I listened to this, to my elder sister speak, when she was talking about a safe haven or a sanctuary, a place